Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to dive in to this question: what is going on with the California-based brand Beautycounter? If you have been asking, has the brand gone bust? Is it out of business? What is going on? You are not alone. The brand has had a very big and confusing 2 weeks and been the subject of many headlines. So we are going to dive into what has been happening that has led up to a big announcement yesterday that the brand will be disappearing for a long time. We're going to look at it all. I am Kezia from The Whole Home blog and Instagram, and my goal on the internet is to make lower footprint living feel a bit less complicated and a bit more budget friendly. And understanding the brands in this space is a huge piece of that. And sometimes that can get really confusing. It is so hard to judge a brand, from labels to headlines about the brand to all kinds of different things. So I wanted to unpack this one because over the last 11 years, Beautycounter has been a big brand in this space and the makeup and skincare part of it. Okay, so let's backtrack to 2013 when the brand started. Beautycounter is a skincare and cosmetics brand started by a woman called Greg Renfrew. Her tagline goal was to get safer products into the hands of everyone. So both by creating a brand that sold science-based, safer options, as well as putting huge weight and money and effort behind advocacy and seeing law changes in terms of how cosmetics and skincare and ingredients are regulated in the US. From the beginning, they were a B Corp, so that's a benefit corporation, so it's a for-profit business, but they are bound to existing not just for profit, but for the benefit of people and planet as well. So they have to consider sustainability and the human impact, the environmental cost of everything they do in a very holistic way. And there is big, very detailed auditing that goes into that is then available to the consumer. So they launched with huge transparency and vision, and Greg was the CEO from 2013. The brand grew, they launched more products, they were part of legislation changes and advocacy work. Big fast forward, in 2021, Greg sold the majority stake in the brand to the private equity firm Carlisle. Carlisle typically buys brands with proven success that they can grow. They will hold them for 3 to 5 years and then sell them on. There were a lot of questions that came with that. Is the brand going to stay the same? Is it not? It was very promised that everything at the core of Beautycounter was going to stay the same. At the end of 2023, Carlisle announced that they were moving out of consumer goods, so where Beautycounter would sit, into other areas. So where the current story starts is on April 17th, in a move no one saw coming, there was a big announcement that Greg had bought back Beautycounter. Now with that came a lot of questions, a lot of headlines, and a lot of unknown. I made a detailed video at that point, which you can watch here if you want to watch a deep dive into a lot of different pieces of that sale, but we'll also cover the current status and where we are now, all in this video. Initially, it looked like maybe this was a story of a triumphant founder buying back her brand from the jaws of private equity. It quickly emerged that no, Beautycounter was not doing well financially. Carlisle wanted to offload the brand, and Greg was able to buy it back in pieces, choose the assets that she was going to bring forward to form a new brand. The brand would still be Beautycounter. She didn't buy the umbrella that was over the Beautycounter brand. So if you were a customer, you probably wouldn't have known, but Beautycounter, the brand, sat under Counter Brands LLC. So Greg created a new company for it to sit in, which is called G2G, but it will still be Beautycounter sitting within that brand. At the time, they said the brand will go offline for a few weeks as they form that new entity and get the brand up and running. Fast forward another 3 weeks, and a big announcement was made on May 6th that the brand would actually not be relaunching in May, but it would be the end of 2024. They said a Q4 probably launch, so October, November, December. In an email to all customers signed by Greg, she said, I originally planned to launch this new company this May. However, after weeks of the team working around the clock, it became clear that if we want to do this right and in the way that will best serve you, our customers and community, we must take more time. The goal is to publicly launch in the new company in late 2024. So where is the brand at now? Beautycounter had a partnership with Ulta, and it is still being sold in Ulta stores and online. It will be in stores till July, and beyond that, online, they haven't specified. So that is the only place currently to access the products. And they've said that we'll be back at the end of the year. I think what we now know that we didn't know when they first made the announcement about the sale is how bad of a place the brand was in financially. We know Carlisle invested in a ton. We know that when Greg bought back the pieces of the brand, she didn't acquire all the assets. I think this is a story of her trying to put together a company that can make it. Obviously, she founded it with vision for change, and I can see you don't want to let that go. She is pulling out the stops to try and keep this brand alive. The other option was the end of Beautycounter completely. But I think as we look forward, we really don't know what is going to come back when it starts up at the end of the year. They have said mission will still be central to everything they do, so we know that. The mission of getting safer products to everybody, of advocacy, that whole piece will still be central, which is great. That all the values will still be the same in terms of sourcing and ethics, and all of that will still be there, but the product assortment might be different. They have had one arm of the business that has run on brand advocates. They have said that whole world might be different. They will not have the New York and Denver stores. They will have a seasonal store in Nantucket still this summer in 2024, but a lot is going to look different. They are reevaluating everything. So I think there's a big wait and see. For any brand that is trying to do better, I am glad that it gets another shot, even if it is messy. We need brands trying to do the right thing in any area. So I'm glad it gets another shot, but I think we really, really don't know what it is going to look like. And so there is really a big wait and see. And I think even at the core with Greg and that team working on the brand, I think they don't even know, as has been seen by saying a May launch and then moving it to the end of the year. They are learning what the company and the different assets they've acquired look like. And there is a lot that is unknown. So we will see a brand come back, most likely, but we just don't know what it will look like other than having the same vision, mission, the affiliate, brand advocate opportunity, and at least some core of the same products. So where do we go from here as whatever you are, a customer, a brand advocate, someone watching the story? Everyone's going to respond differently. I know that a lot of brand advocates have lost that part of their income. That's really hard, like the store employees and the HQ staff who lost their jobs. There is a lot of financial loss for people in this situation. I think one of the things we have to take away and remember is that on this journey of consuming more consciously, of thinking about the different things that Beautycounter held as values of ethics in sourcing, of sustainability, of safety for the consumer, and of using our buying power to do good beyond ourselves. As we shop with those values, it is not about one brand. However much we love one brand, however loyal we are, it is not just about one brand. But Beautycounter have shown us the power of our consumer choices. They were part of 11 different pieces of legislation change in the US and Canada over the last 11 years. And that is phenomenal. From using people buying what they normally buy, but a bit differently, and harnessing the power of that to bring change all through a brand, showing us our brand choices really do matter and make a difference. And I think even though we see one brand go down for a time, we still need to really remember what that has shown us. And going forward, if you shopped their products, I would say either keep buying them from Ulta. I think there are some on Goop. There'll be some in the Nantucket store. But if you're going on a journey of finding different products, look for those same things. For me, I go straight to a brand's website and I look at usually their about page. What are they saying they are about? If they're not saying they're about something, they are definitely not about it. And I'm looking for those things: ethics, sustainability, care for the consumer. What are they doing more broadly? And then, can they back it up? At the same time, remembering we do the best we can with what we know at the time. And that makes it a journey. It's not about finding the perfect brand. It's about going, what's the best I can do right now? And then next time going, what's the best I can do now? And then learning more finding more information, discovering something, and making a better choice next time. There is no perfect brand. There is an imperfect journey for every one of us as conscious consumers, and that is what I encourage you to be on. Practically, if you are at a loss without their product, or you just realize this is a journey you want to go on yourself, I have listed some of my favorites below in the caption, and I will keep that a little bit updated. I am a very stringent consumer. I need to see those things. I need to see ethics. I need to see sustainability, and I need to see safe formulation. So other people's dupes or swaps might be a little different, but if all of those things are important to you too as a consumer, I put some of my favorite brands, and there are some brilliant brands, some B Corp brands, some female founder brands, some really fantastic things in the caption below, because the market has changed and Beautycounter really has been a pioneering voice that's caused that. So I know a brand going down for a time or forever can rock us on this journey of consuming consciously, and we can kind of throw our hands in the air and go, this is impossible, but stay on the journey, whether Beautycounter was a part of it or not, and just keep going step by step. Hopefully those things in the caption and this little explanation will help a bit to understand where the brand is at, what the story is there, but also to remind you that the bigger journey for each of us is really what counts, and we really are powerful. Drop any questions you have below. I will do my best to answer them with what I know, or leave your favorite skincare brands that hold to those values below as well for other people, if that would be helpful. More than anything, stay on this journey. It is worth it. Our small choices really do matter. They make change around us, but they also change us, and that is a key part as well. So I will see you back in another video soon.